One of the benefits of summarizing data using a pivot table is that you can refer to a pivot table cell, such as a subtotal or grand total, in your dashboard. That way you get all the benefits of a pivot table with the compact data display of a dashboard. In this movie, I will show you how to link to a pivot table cell and also a cool trick that lets you display the data that you want from a pivot table by changing the value in one cell. My sample file is 0203 link to pivot, and you can find it in the Chapter 2 folder of the exercise files collection. This workbook contains 4 worksheets, and I'm already on dashboard, where I've started creating a dashboard to summarize category revenue. On the pivot table worksheet, I have a pivot table, and then on the data sheet, I have the data from which I created the pivot table, and you can see that I have 3 different categories: bath products, gift basket, and olive oil. And then on my helper tables worksheet, I currently just have one, and it is named categories, and it has a list of the categories from my data table. Now I'll switch back to dashboard and create a link to the pivot table. In cell B3, I want to summarize gift basket revenue. So I will start first by clicking the cell, which I'd already done, typing equal sign, and then I will go to the pivot table worksheet, and gift basket revenue, the grand total, is in F6. And you can see that a very long get pivot data function appears in the formula bar. The reason it's so long is that it needs to specify a lot of information about the pivot table and where this particular formula is pointing. As you read through, you can see different parts of the pivot table, but what I want to focus on is this bit at the far right that says gift basket. So that is the category that we're looking at. Right, everything is good. I'll go ahead and press enter. And you can see we get our revenue in cell B3. Now I'll show you how to use a similar formula, but one that allows you to change the category from within your dashboard. I'm going to start by creating a data validation list in cell C6. So I'll click there, and then on the Data tab of the ribbon, I'll go to the Data Tools group and click the Data Validation button. In the dialog box that appears on the Settings tab, I'll click the Allow Boxes down arrow and click List. Now in the source box, I could either type the values individually, separated by a comma, or if I have them in my worksheet, I can select the list. So I will click the Collapse Dialog button, click Helper Tables, and select cells A2 through A4. Expand the dialog, and then make sure that I have an in-cell drop-down check mark. That will give a down arrow beside the cell. Click OK, and there it is. And you see next to cell C6, I have a drop-down arrow, and I can select any one of these 3 values. I'll go ahead and select gift basket because we already have that value above, and we can verify that it's working. Now I will copy the formula from B3 down to B6. So B3, Control C or Command C on a Mac, Excel B6, and then Control or Command V. There we go. And I'll press Enter. There we go. And now I can edit this formula so that it will take the value that is currently in cell C6. So I'll click cell B6 again, and then on the formula bar, I'm going to start editing with the text that says gift basket. So I'll go there, and what I need to do is replace gift basket with the cell address for cell C6. I'm working with text, so I need to type a double quote, then an ampersand, which is the concatenation operator, then C6, which is the cell address, another ampersand, and then we need to add in another double quote. So Excel understands that the right bracket is also part of a longer text string. And don't worry if you don't get this right on the first try. It had been a while since I had implemented this technique in a worksheet, and it took me 3 tries. So be patient, you'll get it. Right, everything's good. I'll press enter. And there we have the value of 67,701 for gift basket. And if I click cell C6, click the down arrow, and change to bath products, then I get an update. Do the same thing for olive oil, and I get updated for that value. Including pivot table data in a dashboard using the get pivot data function is a powerful technique. When you combine it with the data validation list and formula edit that I showed, it'll give you even more flexibility and allow you to discover more information about your business.